Hello friends, welcome to the third day of our website design training. My name is Oluwatobiloba Emmanuel and I will be your tutor in this website design training. Okay, so I'm an expert when it comes to website designing, branding and digital marketing. Okay, that's well said. Let's go to the business of today. In today's class, what we'll be doing is to show ourselves how to purchase our hosting and domain. Right, so let's get to business very fast. So if you want to buy your hosting and domain, the website you have to go to is hostyserver.com. So to purchase your hosting and domain, simply head to your browser and input hostyserver.com. hostyserver.com and enter that. Alright. So you hold on a little bit for the website to load up. Alright, now when you are here, this is the website where you do the buying of your hosting and your domain. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, first thing I would like to show you before we go ahead to purchase our hosting and domain, is to scroll down. In our previous class, we discussed the fact that hostings comes in different packages. Okay, so if you scroll down in this website, you're going to see this section that talks about the three packages of hosting that we have on this website, and you're going to be able to read out their capacity right here. Alright, so the first hosting package we have here is Lightstar, followed by PowerPro and UltraText. If you go and see the listing that we have under them, you're going to see the differences in their capacities. For instance, Lightstar has capacity to carry just one domain, while PowerPro has the capacity to carry as much as 3 domains, and UltraFlex, which is the biggest of the hostings that we have here, has the capacity to carry 5 domains. Okay, so that's just to show you how to get to see or get to know about the hosting packages that you can have on a hosting selling website. So for this website, these are the hosting packages that we have. If you go for this first hosting package, you are going to be able to put in one website and 3 subdomains on your hosting. If you go for this hosting package, the second one, which is PowerPro, you'll be able to input 3 domains and 10 subdomains on your hosting package. And for UltraFlex, we have 5 domains and 13 subdomains. Right, so that's how hosting packages works. And of course, you must be aware of the fact that they come in different prices. This is 1,000 naira for a month and 6,000 naira for a year. This is 1,200 naira for a month and 10,000 naira for a year. Why this is 1,500 naira for a month and 15,000 naira for a year. Okay, so that's that about that. Haven't checked that out. What we are here to do is to purchase our hosting and domain. So the first thing that you need to do when you get to this site is to create an account here at login or sign up. Okay, so you are going to click on the sign up button, input a few information like your name, your email, a few details like that. It's as simple can be. I believe you are going to get it done. So you just have to sign. I already have an account on this system. What I'll be doing right now is to log in. Okay, so here is the login page. If you have created an account, you come to login, you input your login details, then you click on login here, and then it loads up this interface for you. Right, this is the interface where the business is being done. So on getting here, you see these services I have here. You see 2 services, 3 domains. These are the domains. These are the domains that I have purchased on this site in time past. Okay, these are the services, these are the hostings I have purchased on this site in time past. You can also see them here. See, this is one hosting and domain, and this is another. Right? We'll come back to that later. But when you purchase an hosting and a domain, you are definitely going to see them here. Okay, you will see that. You will see how that works because we are actually going to purchase our hosting right now. So stay with me till the end of the class. So now if you want to purchase your hosting and domain, you come up here, click on this drop down, then you're going to see register a new domain here. Click on that and then it's loads up this interface for you. Okay, so at this point, the first thing that we have to put in mind is there's something that is called domain name search. All right, domain name search is just about you checking for the availability of the domain name that you want to use. Let's take for instance, the name of my brand is Hosting Empire Limited. The name of my website, the domain name of my website is hosty.ng. Let's say by any chance you also have a business by the name Hosty. Okay, so you also want to build a website. Now, if you are willing to actually use something like hosty.ng also, you are going to have to come here first and search for hosty.ng. Let's search for that. Put in mind the fact that I have actually used that domain name. Right, in small area. Hosty.ng. Alright, so as I was saying, put in mind the fact that I've actually used that domain name. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. Don't forget what we are doing is checking the availability of a domain name. This domain hosty.ng is the domain name of my site. Now I'm searching for the availability. So let's see what that gives us. So you can see boldly written here, hosty.ng is unavailable. Okay, that implies that you are not going to be able to use hosty.ng because another person has used it. However, they will not leave you without trying to give you a solution to this. So these are suggested domain name that you can use instead of hosty.ng. Hosty.net is available, hosty.org is available, hosty.biz, hosty.info, hosty.com.ng is available. Alright, so this is the very reason why we have different domain URL available in the internet space. We have .com, we have .ng, .net, .biz, .org. It is to the end that if, as I have used hosty.ng now, if another person is coming tomorrow to say he wants to build a website with the same name Hosty, the person is not going to be stuck because I have used it. What the person will only have to do is to change the domain URL to probably something like .net, .org, .biz, .info, .com.ng. As you can see, those are available under here. Okay, yeah. So if it is a case whereby all the options has been exhausted, hosty.com has been used, .ng has been used, .net has been used, .com.ng, everything has been used. Alright, so you might then need to modify the domain name. Let's say something like hostyhub.com. That might be available. If that's not available, then hostyhub.ng might be available, hostyhub.com.ng might be available. Alright, so you just modify to get what you want. That being said, now before I move on, you must also be aware of the fact that they all come in different prices. For instance, .com.ng is 3,000 naira, .info is 41,000 naira, .biz is 32,000 naira, .org is 22,000 naira, and .net is 24,000. So they come at different prices. Now, this should already explain the variance, the prices of domains. And then we have checked also the capacity of hosting before we got here, and we saw that it is that capacity that we are checking that determines the price of hosting. Alright, so if you are getting the Lightstar domain, which is for a year 6,000 naira, and you come here and you are getting hosty.net, which is 24,000 naira, you simply add up 24,000 naira with 6,000 naira, which is the price for the hosting that we are buying. We are going to get that done here and see how that works. So I haven't explained all that. The domain name we are purchasing today is Hosty Academy. Hosty Academy. hostyacademy.com.ng. So let's search the availability of that. searching, and here we are. So hostieracademy.com.ng is available, which implies that nobody has used it in the past, so it's available for us to use. And then there are other variants down here also. You see .com, 17,000 naira, .net, there, .org, you have the variants. But since what we actually want to use is available, what we then do is to click on add to cart first. Click on it, it loads up for a while. Then we have the button to check out. You click on checkout again. Right, so when you click on checkout, it brings you to this interface, and where you get here, what you have to do here is to now add a hosting to the domain that you want to buy. We have selected the domain that we want to buy. We have added it to cart, and then we want to check out. Right, but don't forget, what you want to buy is hosting and domain. Right, so you see what you have written here, no hosting. Click to add. So you click on this to add an hosting. Right, it's loading. I've clicked it. Okay, so it brings you these options. Remember, we have 3 packages: Lifestyle, Power Pro, and Ultraflex, and this is their prices for a month each. Right, so what we are buying today is Lifestyle. So you click on this order now. It loads up for you. Right, so it brings you this interface for you to select the domain name that you want to buy alongside that hosting. Don't forget, what we did earlier is to add the domain name to cart. Okay, so I haven't gotten here. It's going to tell us, all right, select the domain name that you want to buy alongside this hosting. But oftentimes, if you are doing it just the way I'm doing it, the domain name you just added to cart is going to be the domain name that is in this space by default. But it's still important that you do well to confirm. Okay, so since we have hostieracademy.com.ng, which is the domain name that we want to use, you selected Lifestyle Hosting. That's the hosting package we want to use. So you come here and you say use. Alright, so it processes this interface for you again. Now what you want to do here is to choose the duration of hosting that you want to purchase. You can purchase for a month, you can purchase for quarterly, that should be 3 months. You can purchase for semi-annually, that should be 6 months, and you can purchase for annually, that's a year. For this class, we'll be purchasing for annually, right? So if you purchase for a month, for instance, you purchased this hosting for a month, it implies that after a month, the hosting will get suspended. And the implication of your hosting getting suspended is that your website is no longer going to be accessible. That doesn't mean that your website has been terminated. It is only suspended. What you would then have to do is to come to your website and renew the hosting that you bought. Now, at the point of renewing, you are going to go through the same process. Okay, so you can then choose if you want to go for a month again, quarterly or semi-annually, annually. So if you got for annually, as we are going to do now, after a year, the hosting is going to get suspended. We are going to have to come here again and renew the hosting package. That's by the way. So we are getting annually, which is for a year. Okay. So we are going to say, having chosen that, we are going to say continue. Observe that this has changed to 6,000 naira per year. It has changed to 6,000 naira, which is for a year. So we are waiting for this to load up and take us to the next interface, which is where we are now. Alright, so the hosting that we want to buy is 6,000 naira. The domain we want to buy is 3,000 naira. That's added up together, and that is why we have 9,000 naira here. Alright, so having done all that, the next thing we want to do is to check out. Alright, so when you check out, it brings you to this interface. The business you have here is to come down, select this, and complete order. So by completing order, it's going to load up the interface for you to make payment. So let's hold on and see how that comes up. Alright, now at this point, the system has loaded up this interface for us to make our payment. Alright, so you can either pay through your card, input your card details here, or you can pay through transfer. You're going to load up the account details that we use for you. Make sure you write the proper account number based to this bank and then pay the exact price that you see here. There are other options that you can explore here, but I did advise that you stick with either this or this. Right, so I am going to make the bank transfer from my end here, and then let's see how it rolls. Alright, so I have made this transfer now, so I'll go ahead and click I have sent this money. Then it's going to process for a while. Okay. Alright, so after you have made the payment, it goes on to keep processing for a while. You're going to see it loading on your screen there, and when it is done loading, you're definitely going to know. Okay, so at that point you can come back to your interface over here, right? Then you're going to have your website. Because now domain you just bought, it's going to be here. Okay, so if you by any means have difficulty to come back to this place from where you got your hosting and domain, simply come here, clean part of this URL, let it remain just hostserver.com, and get rid of the rest, just like that, and then click on enter. It's going to load up back this home page for you, so you can do how to log in again. Alright, when you log in again, it brings you back here, and then you're going to see your website, the hosting and domain you just purchased right here. Okay, so we have purchased our hosting and domain. I've seen how I got it done. Trust me, just watch it once, twice, and attempt it. Okay, if you have any question along the line, I'll be here to answer, give you the support. So attempt it. It's not as difficult as you think. Purchase your hosting and domain, and then you will be good to go. Alright, so from this point we will continue from the next class. I haven't gotten our hosting and domain. What's the next thing that we should do? That's what we'll be dealing with in the next class. Thank you very much. I'm Oluwatobi Emmanuel, your website design tutor, expert in branding and marketing. See you in the next class. Bye for now.